Wow, I can't even believe it. But before you know it, New Year's is going to be here and everybody's going to be at the gym trying to lose the weight they gained during the holidays. But what if it was different for you? What if you could already be down 10 pounds by New Year's? In this video, I'm going to show you how to do just that. And I'm going to show you in a way that actually works. So make sure you stay till the end because this strategy is effective for everybody, no matter where you are in your health journey. This strategy works for healing an illness as well. So whether you are just trying to improve your health or lose weight, this video is for you. Now, a lot of people are going to go through the holidays and they're going to end up gaining weight. They're going to incorporate more bad habits. But in this video, I'm going to share with you how to actually incorporate healthy habits, but not feel deprived or stressed out. Believe it or not, that is totally possible no matter where you are in your health journey, even if you have 20, 30 or more pounds to lose, or even if you are battling an illness. Our bodies are meant to be in a state of health, in a state of healing. Think about it. When we break a leg or if we hurt ourselves or cut ourselves, our bodies will naturally heal. If we overeat and we go back to our regular eating habits, our bodies will naturally lose weight. So when we are in a state of health or if we are in a state of healing, it is not necessarily about hard work or discipline. It's more about intention or alignment. And I've said that before in other videos, but in this video, I'm going to give you the 4 pillars to get yourself into that state of alignment. And no matter who you are or what your diet is or what you're dealing with, these 4 pillars are going to work for you because it's the same for everybody. I am Jessica Leibovich. I am a nutritional chef of over 25 years. And I've also healed myself of many illnesses and maintained a 25 plus pound weight loss. I am 50 years old. I'm at the lowest weight of my life. I still don't deprive myself of anything that I want to eat, but I now understand what my body needs and wants and what I must do to maintain optimal health. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. And that's what I want you to adopt because I truly believe that we can all be the healthiest version of ourselves, and it doesn't have to look like pushing through difficult workouts or depriving ourselves and eating food that is not enjoyable. It's just a matter of finding what works for us and incorporating that into our lifestyle. And there are 4 pillars that encompass this, and that is what this video is about. And these 4 pillars are the foundation of what I do, what I work with my clients, and also my new community in school. So if this sounds like something you want more support with, make sure you check out my new community or reach out for more support. The 4 pillars are food, fitness, faith, and fasting. Don't let the last one scare you away because I'm going to share with you how fasting is nature's secret weapon, and it actually isn't as difficult as you think. But let's start with food because food is the most important thing, and sometimes it can be the most confusing. Now, when it comes to food, there are only so many options out there. It's not like we have an overabundance of options, even though it looks like we do. When you break it down to actually whole foods, there's only so many things that we can eat. So it's a matter of figuring out what you enjoy and what works with your life. Maybe you're more of a plant-based person. Maybe you're more of an omnivore. Maybe you're more of a meat eater. That's up to you to figure out. But what I'm going to share with you is that is what you use to create your puzzle. And I've talked about my puzzle method in other videos, and I talk about it in my No Deprivation Guide to Weight Loss, which is also available in the description. But understanding that everybody's puzzle looks different, but your puzzle is made up of what you want to eat. And that can be anything. If you want pizza, if you want wine, if you want steak, if you want vegetables, or if you want salad, whatever it is, you put it in your puzzle and make it work for you. Now, that is going to look different for everybody. and everybody has different challenges. So overcoming unhealthy eating patterns is something that most of us need to work on a regular basis. And that is another reason why fasting is such an important protocol. But food is the number one thing you want to look at. You can't out exercise a bad diet. So getting your food dialed in is so important. When you create your puzzle, you want to make sure your macros are in a calorie deficit. That is going to look different for everyone as well. Figuring out your BMR is number one. So your basal metabolic rate is what you burn when you're doing absolutely nothing. If you're just laying in bed all day. And that is very easy to figure out. You can go on Google, you can get a smart scale and figure out your BMR. And then your calorie deficit will be a little bit above that. So, for example, if your BMR is 1200, then you can keep your calories around 1500. Now, again, this is going to be different for everybody. So, it depends on how much activity you do, how physical your day is, what you're eating, all of that stuff. It's going to vary from person to person. But getting yourself in a calorie deficit is number one. I talk to a lot of clients who are struggling with weight loss, and they work with a lot of weight loss coaches who have them on a reverse diet. Now, that is okay once in a while. However, it's not effective long term for weight loss. You're going against thermodynamics. You need to be in a calorie deficit, but you also need to be satisfied. And so sometimes if you're in a calorie deficit, your macros might need to be adjusted. So you might need to decrease the fat and increase the carbs and protein, or decrease the carbs and increase the protein. It really depends. And if that's something you need help with, I can definitely help you figure out what your macro ratio should be. But putting your puzzle together to fit your macro ratio is number one. And using healthy recipes that you really enjoy in your puzzle are going to be key. We very often try to eat out or try to get a quick fix. And the food out these days, we just do not know what's in there. And oftentimes it's loaded with things that are harmful for us, and it's very high in fat. So trying to prepare as much of the food as you can is going to be key in helping you lose weight. Okay, so on to number two, fitness. Fitness, of course, is so important. However, if your food is not dialed in, it does not matter what you're doing for fitness, you're not going to lose weight. However, if you have your diet dialed in, your fitness can be fun and enjoyable, and you don't have to feel stressed about it or dread it. So if you're dreading what you're doing, then it's time for a pivot. For example, if you are going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and you're still not seeing results, it's time for a pivot. Either your workout needs to be adjusted, or maybe it's time to stop the gym and try something new. There are so many things these days we can do for fitness. For example, I stopped going to the gym as often as I used to. I was much heavier than I am now because I was not consistent. I was going to the gym and I was not doing the workouts that I'm actually doing now at home. Things like walking uphill, jumping on the trampoline, doing dumbbells on my vibration plate, doing push-ups in the morning. I am able to be a lot more consistent with these things than I was going to the gym every day. Sometimes I would make it to the gym 4 to 5 days a week, and then other weeks I would only get there 2 days a week. And so without that consistency, I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. Finding a fitness routine that works for you is going to be the number one thing to long-term success in improving your physique. In my school community, I include workouts that you can do anywhere, anytime, because you do not have to work out in a gym. You can work out at home, you can work out in a park, you can work out in a hotel room. It can be truly anywhere if you know the right type of workout. But sometimes it can be confusing. We feel like we have to have machines, or we feel like we have to do cardio. And in fact, cardio is not the most effective workout for weight loss. Building your muscle is. So make sure you're doing something to build your muscle. Even if it's only 20 minutes a day. If you do 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening every single day, that consistency is key, and it's probably going to get you better results than hitting the gym just a few days a week. Next, let's talk about your faith. Faith is such an important part of our health. I work with people sometimes and they are running 5 miles a day. They're working out all the time. They're dialed in on their food, but they're still not seeing results. Their mindset is not where it should be. They are feeling down. They're feeling depressed. And that truly will take a toll on your health. The number one thing that causes disease is stress. And so if we don't get control of our stress, we are never going to be the healthiest version of ourselves. Our faith is such a huge part of that. Anybody knows that when they connect with their creator, it truly gives them a feeling of peace and it allows them to release anxiety. God is the ultimate creator. Jesus is the ultimate healer. And so by connecting with your faith, you are able to transcend your body's problems and heal and become the best version of yourself. God wants you to be healthy. In fact, gluttony is a sin and it holds you back more than you realize. So connecting with your faith will allow you to be healthier than you've ever been. Not only that, you can declare and decree your health over your body. Every morning, you can make decrees and declarations of health and cast out the things that you do not want, like disease, stress, or being overweight. By decreeing and declaring the things you want and casting out the things you don't want in your creator's name, you are calling in what you want for your body and your health. So faith is very important and don't let it slide when it comes to healing and health. The last pillar and component of my strategy is fasting. Some people I talk to think, oh, I could never do that. I could never go without eating for 24 hours. And I used to be one of those people. In fact, I used to think it was harder than it actually is. But now that I understand it's nature's secret weapon for healing, I incorporate fasting on a regular basis. And I'm not talking about intermittent fasting. However, that is a great place to start if you've never done fasting before. Start from an 18-6 and then go up to 24 hours if possible. I am actually talking about a minimum of a 36-hour fast is ideal to do at least once a month, twice a month if you can. And if you can go once a week, that's even better. And then extended fast, like 2 to 4 days, allow a deep detoxification and healing and radical weight loss. Some people think this is extreme, but if you do your research on fasting, it is nature's secret weapon. First, we burn glucose, then we go into ketosis and burn fat, and then we go into autophagy and our body goes into deep healing mode. I have used this to heal my blood sugar issues and also heal my unhealthy eating patterns. When you go without food for 24 to 36 hours, you start to realize that a lot of times you're eating when you're not even hungry, that we don't even need as much food as we're eating, and that we are actually using food for comfort or stress release when we should be using it for nourishment. Humans used to be in a regular state of feasting and fasting, and now we are just feasting all the time. And so our bodies are in overload. And you will come to understand when you start fasting how healing and detoxifying it is for your body. So by incorporating these 4 things together, you can truly create an atmosphere of ultimate health. So that's it. Food, fitness, faith, and fasting. The puzzle method for food, 20 minutes a day for fitness, decreeing and declaring and casting out for your faith, and fasting when you can. They're going to help you get into the highest version of yourself, get into the healthiest version of yourself before January 1st, and you will create healthy habits that are going to allow you to create a lifestyle for yourself long term. This is exactly what I'm doing in my community in school. I would love to see you there. Right now, it's a free community, and I'm excited to share this information with you. So I hope to see you there. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share it with others. And until the next video, stay glowing.